guys, welcome to a letter to my younger self, as the title suggests. I want to do a disclaimer right off the bat that says that I don't actually have a letter written out. It's kind of all in my head, the things that I want to say as per these normal videos. But I did want to kind of get your attention because I was posting on social media, which again is ironic because I just posted a video talking about my lack of social media. If you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. But I was posting on social media about something that I wanted to talk about to the people who are following me that are younger, and even some people that are close to my own age. And I'm not going to cover the things in this video that you've probably heard in these types of YouTube videos, which is, don't let the bullies get to you when you get out of high school, and when you become an adult, those things don't matter anymore, and you're going to be proud of the person that you are. And those are all true, and they are all things that I wish I could have looked into a crystal ball and talked to my now current 30-year-old self and said, like, please help me through this. These people in high school are making my life miserable, and seeing that it was going to be okay on the other side. However, the thing that I want to talk about and the thing that I want to focus on is something that I don't think a lot of people have talked about, and something that, especially for high school juniors and seniors and people just going into college, extremely relevant. And I got a lot of feedback from the people on Twitter who saw this, and that's kind of what's prompting me to do this video. And that is, when you're a junior in high school, when you're a senior in high school, when you're going into college, admissions teams and counselors and teachers and everybody want you to sit down and go, what do you want to do with your life, right? Like, that's the question that you get asked at your high school graduations, or when you're applying to colleges. What do you want to do with your life? What's your dream? And I want to tell you that, like, it's okay if you don't have that figured out, right? I thought I was the only person who didn't have my life figured out, that at 17 years old, I could chart out my entire career. And it didn't happen for me. In fact, when I graduated when I graduated high school and I went into college, I wanted to be a radio broadcaster, and I got accepted. My, first month as I moved onto campus before school started, I went and interviewed with the radio broadcast head of the department, and I got denied from the program. So literally right before school started, I had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and it was it was so stressful, and there was so much pressure on me to feel like I had to have it figured out. And what's ironic about the whole thing is that, and what you should keep in mind, is that it's impossible, especially because when I was graduating high school and just going into college, YouTube and Twitter, Facebook had just come out and was only limited to people who had an official university email that Facebook had approved, which my university didn't. So even Facebook didn't exist for me. And Twitter and YouTube and Twitch and all of these things are things that I use on my daily basis that involve my career. They didn't even exist when I was in high school. So to feel like you have to have your life figured out, or that you're going to have your life figured out, is so much pressure that you shouldn't have to put on yourself. Now, I'm gonna put a disclaimer on this, right? I think that there is an extreme amount of importance to doing the best that you can and setting short-term and even long-term goals for yourself. If you're passionate about something, apply that passion when you're in school, right? I wanted to go into radio journalism, and I couldn't do that. And so I thought, well, what's the next best thing for me? Well, let's go into communications of some kind, right? And I had to think about it, and I thought, what is really interesting to me is kind of event planning, and I want to do something good for the world. So I want to go into nonprofit event planning. I'd always been kind of creative. I thought that was a job that I could do, and that's how I ended up selecting my majors. It's how I got my first internship working for a wedding coordinator, and I did that for a while. When I graduated college, I went and worked for a nonprofit hospital doing education for them. Then I became a stay-at-home mom once my daughter was born, needed something to do. I started my own business. When I got divorced, I had to go be a waitress. I've been a cake decorator. I've worked in human resources. I've been an IT planner, and life has thrown me all kinds of curveballs that I would have never had imagined. Now, I think that the reason why I am where I am today, and the reason why I feel like I'm successful in my job or I've done well on YouTube, is because every time life has thrown me a curveball, I've accepted it with open arms and done my very best to overcome any obstacles that were put in front of you. Life is not something that you're just going to breeze through. Success doesn't come to you easily. So even if you're not sure what you want to do, put your time and your talent and all of the effort that you absolutely can into the thing that you're passionate about at the time. And just like life, people are going to evolve. And so if your passion shift to something else, figure out how you can make that work for you and apply it into your job. Now, sometimes life is not going to be fun. I have worked in jobs that I absolutely hated. I worked at an IT job before I was able to quit and do YouTube full time, and I hated that job. It was stressful. It was in an office environment. I had to wear like work clothes, which was fun for like about the first 5 minutes, and girl, wearing heels for 8 hours every day and walking around downtown is not as fun as it seems. So what I had to do at the time was figure out, how can I take this thing that I'm passionate about, which is YouTube and gaming and social media and all of this, how can I work on that to make that my job? And so I was putting in my full amount of effort into a full-time job and into a YouTube job, so that if YouTube didn't work out, I was still succeeding in a career even though I wasn't that passionate about it. So life isn't going to be easy and success isn't going to become easy, but what I want you to do is give yourself the patience to adapt to life. If something happens and you had set a plan that I'm gonna, have this accomplished by this age and this accomplished by this age, and something happens and you're not able to do that, be patient with yourself. Allow yourself the air to breathe, to just take a step back and go, it's okay. I'm going to figure out what I can do right now to be the very best at whatever is presented in front of me. Things are going to change sometimes for the better. For me, that was the invention of all of these social media things. I am so glad that I didn't one track myself into I'm going to work in nonprofit event planning for my whole life, because while I'm passionate about it, it's not something that I feel would give me as much satisfaction as the job I have now, which allows me to work in nonprofit event planning because I do charity fundraisers with Mindcrack, and I get to work with charities like Extra Life and Game Changer and St. Jude with my job with Twitch. So I still get to pull in pieces of things that I've done in past jobs that I really enjoy into the job that I have now. I do realize that there is a certain amount of luck into landing that dream job and being able to find a career that you want. But I also want you to understand that that's not something that's going to come to you right away. I'm 30, and up until 2.5 years ago, didn't even know that the job that I dreamed of, A, existed, and B, was actually attainable for me. So again, just be patient with yourself. It makes me so sad to see the young people of America who are so bright and who can offer the future so much be so overwhelmed with having to feel like they have to have all of those answers right now. You don't. And even if you do, congratulations, you have figured out the key to success, and if you can figure out how to hack and win the lottery, hit me up and we can share a jackpot or something. But, to me, the jackpot in life has been every time that I've overcome something and found a new passion and done, cake decorating, and, I was a cheerleading coach and I was a substitute teacher and I did all of these amazing things, which all kind of fell together in this perfect bouquet and then presented to me as my job at Twitch. And so it's not always going to make sense sometimes, and sometimes you're gonna look back and be like I 2.5 years ago was looking back girl, you are a hot mess. What have you done with your life and where are you going? You have done all of these random jobs. You are working as a maybe gaming YouTuber, trying to make it. What the heck is going on? I was just getting ready to quit my job. There were all of these ifs and buts, and I was a mom and I have a kid to take care of, and what the heck am I gonna do so that my kid admires what I do and looks up to me? Those are all things that I was curious about and had no idea how all of this stuff was gonna happen. And then the more that I got into Twitch and the more that I kind of pushed and made opportunities for myself, the more all of those things were okay, now that makes sense. I use this piece of that job here, and I use this piece here, and I use this piece here. And it kind of all came full circle. And for some people, it may happen at 30 like me. It may happen at 45. It may happen at 22. It may happen at different ages, but we're all different. Just like our personalities and our backgrounds and our life experiences, how we get to that end goal is not going to be the same. And it's not a race because we all run at different speeds. So please be patient with yourself. Don't feel like you have to have it all figured out, because past Erin, you're not gonna. Girl, you are gonna look around at some points in your life and go, I don't Like, where am I? There's no Google map to, like, figure out how to get out of this hot mess, because it's just not. You just gotta do your best and push through it, and it'll all make sense one day. It sounds so, like, cat inspirational poster on the back wall, but I promise y'all, that's the truth. It is the absolute, honest to God, Scout's honor truth, and I just want you all to relax, take a deep breath, follow my enthusiasm, and know that it will be better and it will make sense eventually. Whether you see it now or you see it later, I promise you, you will succeed as long as you do the very best with the opportunities that you are presented at the time now, right now. So thank you all so much for watching. If you can figure out how to, time channel this back to my past self, maybe that would be helpful. Maybe not. Maybe that's like a butterfly effect that I don't want to know, because me discovering and trying out all of these things helped me to be where I am. So maybe I wouldn't want to know all of these things. Just the generic, like, hey girl, you got this. You got it. And you know what? Hey girl, hey boy, hey everybody out there, you got it. You're gonna be fine. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in game very soon. Bye! It's a cool pen because they've like changed it. Ooh, camera! Look, we're learning because we're getting better at YouTubing. Look at that camera. You are just on top of it. Grim Alex. Sup? Sup, dude? Vape Nish. Sup, brah? You got a football, brah? See you around. Awesome, Alex. Cool hanging, brah.